May I take this opportunity to greet all South Africans on this first day of the month of January, the New Year's Day. Let me share with you certain thoughts as I think and pronounce on our identity as Africans. The topic that I will share with you today, dubbed a case of mistaken identity. Wisdom has never been confirmed to any nation or any particular part of the world. To our joy, we can stumble on its treasures just about anywhere. Authors and photographers have made wide study of wealth of mysticism to be found in India, Latin America, and also in Africa. Here are few of the gems unearthed in the writings of Africa. I quote, "Within the universe, at every level, all things vibrate. Only the differing frequencies of the vibration prevent us from seeing the realities we call invisible. This you must remember. The fact that a thing cannot be seen, handled, or perceived does not absolutely prove that it does not exist." Close quote. This is Amaju Hambit Ba. If there is one question that seekers have been asking probably since the beginning of time, is who I am, or perhaps what I am. Who I am, or perhaps what am I? Socrates, probably the greatest of the Greek philosophers and mystics, told his students, what you do, you do not see, and what you see is your shadow. So who or what are we? We are certainly not the body. Lot of physiologists tell us that every 7-12 years, every single cell of the human body dies, is replaced by another cell. So everything about ourselves that we can see and touch and feel didn't even exist 12 years ago. The mystics tells us that although we are in a body, we are not the body. We are spiritual beings going through the experience of being human. We are told we are pure spiritual beings already, but beings whose purity has been temporarily obscured by our mind and senses. However, this is something we will realize for ourselves only when our soul dominates our mind. And this higher state of consciousness, tell us, can be gained through meditation and through meditation alone. In other words, if we want to discover who and what we really are, the only way we can do this is through meditation. And in any way, that sums up very little why we are on this path. To realize then that we truly spiritual beings, we have to work to strengthen our true self, the soul, to a point where it can begin to dominate the mind. And as we know, this is not so easy. All the intellectuals, have admitted that the mind is a formidable opponent. What makes our inward journey difficult is our bonds with outside world. It is tightly linked to us. In a spiritual terms, man is much like a covered lantern. That his light is in him. There is the spark of pure existence, knowledge and bliss in him, but the envelopes of mind and matter dimmed his light, and he gropes in darkness. The real existence has degenerated and appears in him as reason, intellect, and instinct. Bliss has degenerated into fleeting experiences of pleasure and pain. And to think that there was a time when we were part of the Creator, sharing His light and love and perfection of God. In the same letter, Spiritual Gems, the great Master tells us that, and I quote, "The Creator is existence, knowledge and pure bliss, or power, wisdom and love, an atom or a spark of essence of existence is the soul, which is encased in its coverings of mind and matter, forms the individual man. If the coverings were removed from the individual, the soul would be naked and would be qualified to know its creator. The individual will know himself, attain self-realization, and will in turn be able to know his creature." Close quote. So there really was a time when we knew all that. The pure bliss, wisdom, and love, that are the essence of creature. But we have lost that because we sank to this low level where our light is hidden by coverings of mind and matter. We have become limited and small. We have become ignorant of joy and bliss that are soul's birthright. We have become subject to pain and loneliness and fear and doubt. We have fallen under the spell of this material world, and we imagine this is where we belong. We have been here for so long that we have adjusted to being here, because we really can't remember things being any different. And yet, so no matter how comfortable our circumstances, deep down we are not happy. And we are not happy at all. Because we really can't remember things being indifferent. And yet, no matter how comfortable our circumstances, deep down we are not happy. We often feel of place and lonely. And this feeling is necessary and right. This is what drives us to look for something better and to discover who and what we are. We have these ways from Charan Singh, open. This contains feeling of loneliness and missing something is in reality hidden, unquenched thirst, craving of soul for its Lord. It will always persist as long as the soul does not return to its ancient original home and meet its Lord. Africa is the land. Only then will it get through contentment and eternal peace. This feeling has been purposefully put into the heart of the soul is lonely because it's forgotten what it is. For so many lives, it has been read and covered that have deluded into thinking it's separate. It has become logged in a false identity. So must say that this is our ultimate goal, to go beyond you and I. And this mistaken identity of the separate I that blocks us from returning to the one our soul longs for. What is the practical outcome of this sense of separation? This belief that we are stranded here and our beloved is somewhere else beyond our reach. As a result of it, a perception has taken root in us that we are off this place. We are caught up in the stuff of this world, where not only do we see all things as absolutely real, we give it all our attention and energy and our time because this seems to be what is most important. For most of our time, our attachment is here. So the people and places and things around us. This is where our attention is. All this worldly stuff is what we are constantly thinking about. And to have this is one of the most dangerous tricks of the mind. It keeps thinking about things that have nothing to do with the needs and desire of our innermost. The very act of thinking creates duality, a belief that we are separate beings. I am here and I'm thinking about that. As long as we keep thinking, there must be two. There cannot be one. And what is this I that exists as separate entity? It can only be the ego. I is the ego. The ego is kept alive by our constant thinking. Our true self remains hidden and suppressed behind a false and limited personality. That remains so obsessed with its own identity that it fights any move to show it up as false. The sad thing is that for so much of our lifetime, we have been led to believe that thinking is good. Any kind of thinking is good. Now, to our shock, we find out that this is definitely not the case. What we need is clear thinking only. Not just thinking, but clear thinking to fight mediocrity. Not this endless, aimless mental lip gabber that stop our mind coming to rest. So, a compulsive thinking is the process of abandoning oneself to the inner shutter of the mind. It is the tendency to live in a world of concepts and illusions, of fear for the future may bring, of obsessing with planning, of remembering, and ruminating on what is past. Ladies and gentlemen, this process itself builds habits of worrying, judging, analyzing, building expectations, and daydreaming. So we can see how damaging this is and how it stops us from doing that one thing that can turn the situation around. Our Simran, it seems the mind is really threatened by Simran, and every moment that the mind is left free to run from one thought to another is a moment that is not doing the one thing that it should. The repetition of our weight, our Simran, and every single uncontrolled thought is a waste of time, wasted opportunity. Million times a day we waste opportunity to center our attention in stillness at the eye center because the mind is being allowed to romp around unchecked elsewhere. And the ridiculous part is that so much of what we think is irrelevant. It's about things in past. which are dead and gone, and the things in future which may or may not even come to pass. We fail to extract from the history what could lead us to a brighter future. So most of our thinking is really pretty pointless. What is more, it is responsible for much of our pain, the worry, the sadness, the depression, the self-condemnation that make us miserable. We don't need to keep hurting ourselves and dragging ourselves down through our thoughts. We can shut down this destructiveness and we can discover that there is relief in Simran, a peace and joy and remembrance. Remembrance of our beloved ones who gave us these words. Of course, we can stop thinking entirely. We have a mind. We have to use it to function here. But wherever we can remember, let us try to stand back and use the mind to think clearly. And of course, clear thinking is not that the mind is used to doing. It is not what it likes. What it wants is to be able to jump around freely, thinking ceaselessly about one thing after another. Even when we sit for meditation. So now it needs a definite act of will of our part to stop its shenanigans. It is visually certain that our mind will surreptitiously slip back into its thinking. So again and again and again, when we see what is happening, we have to let go of those thoughts and return to our clear thoughts. Let us not fool ourselves thinking it is not meditation. Thinking is self-indulgence. But very time we turn our mind back to where we are notching up a little victory. With these few words today, let me promote clear thinking. Let us invite the Divine Spirit in our church, the Nazareth Baptist Church, Ebleni Home. We put more emphasis on prayer. We have got praying times in a day. 6 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock midnight, and 4 o'clock at the dawn of the day. We wish you all the best as we kick off with 2021. I'm against the myth that this 2021 is going to be bright or bad. It is upon our own clear thinking. It is upon our own intellectual thinking. It is upon our own dialectical approach on the challenges that we are going to face. Me and my family, we went through 2020 while COVID was there, like it has been never existed. We lost nobody in the family. Nobody that was seriously ill or severely attacked by COVID-19 pandemic. I thank God on that. I thank Onyasi on that. I thank Shembe on that. Amen. Amen and amen. Amen.